Hello, you guys, and welcome back to A Better You. I'm your host, Fernanda Ramirez, and I'm so excited to have you here. Today, I am coming at you with full energy and full force, and we are going to be talking about a term that I have coined with my friends. Actually, I don't know if I'm the inventor or the originator, but it's what me and my friends are saying for summer of 2025, and that it is Alive Girl Summer. Sometimes we forget, sometimes we are numb, sometimes we get distracted, sometimes we are so in the go, go, go that we forget to be here and be present and be thankful that we're alive and have fun with it and play with it and reminding ourselves that we are the main character and that we are building a summer. It's actually a life, but we're saying a summer for now, but we are building a summer that we are obsessed with. We are not watching someone else live our ideal summer online through our phones. We are not wishing that we could be living the summer that we want to be living. We are not hoping that the summer that we want happens without us moving a finger. We are actually intentionally crafting our days so that by the end of the summer, we are so satisfied and happy with how it went. And again, I'm saying summer because that is a season that we just got into. I think actually 3 days ago was the summer solstice. Is that how you say it? Solstice? Basically, we are just entering summer right now, and I could not be more excited. If it is not summer in your area, maybe you're in Australia and you're like, girl, it's winter. You know what? The theme kind of still aligns because a lot of what we're talking about isn't necessarily like go to the beach and put a bathing suit on and bikini girl summer and hot girl summer and have some hot girl flings and go find men and be hot and sexy on a yacht. Like, yes, that counts too. But a lot of what I actually want to talk about in this episode is more of the frequency that we're trying to embody, the vibe we are trying to give off, the energy we are trying to have. In this episode, I'm going to go through a bunch of things that scream Alive Girl Summer for me and things that do not scream Alive Girl Summer, things that we are not trying to embody, things that we do not want. As you can tell, I'm in a very good mood this morning, this day. It's literally not morning, it's 6 p.m. I'm in a very good mood this afternoon because all day I've been super excited and in a super inspired state. I was actually sending some videos to my friends earlier and we were just like talking about things that inspire us. And one of the things my friend said was that she was like, you know what? I love that even if we don't act on these creative ideas, which hopefully we do, but even if we don't act on these creative ideas, there's something about speaking about the things that light you up and the things that make you passionate that is just so energy giving to not only yourself, but the people around you. So we were all sending in some things that inspire us and some things that make us really happy. And my group chat has just been filled with good vibes these days. 2 of my friends actually just got their belly buttons pierced and then they dyed their hair. They got little streaks in their hair. One of my friends dyed her hair like in aquamarine streaks and my other friend in hot pink streaks. That friend also got a little star tattoo on the back of her neck. And she keeps posting about it on her story being like, I'm customizing my character. And that's also the energy going into this summer. We are using our free will the way we want to and in a joyful way. Sometimes I feel like we forget that we do have free will and that we can choose to do whatever we want. And though that can be good and bad, we're going to go the good way and say that it is just so fun to be able to feel free and to feel certain in your decisions and your choices and your desires and own them unapologetically. That is something that I really admire about these 2 friends that I'm specifically envisioning. They really just own what they want to do and they own it shamelessly and they have fun no matter who is watching or no matter who is in the space because they are having fun and they're enjoying their own vibe. They enjoy being in their bodies and that is exactly what summer 2025 is all about. Now, anyways, this was a very long-winded intro. We're basically in the episode. It wasn't even an intro, but I forgot to mention to you guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel at A Better You, make sure you do that. We are almost at 600K, which is so exciting. And if you guys want to help me get there, that's like my little goal for the end of summer. That'd be super awesome. If you would like to give a rating on Apple or Spotify, make sure you do that as well. You can also leave a review on Apple and you can leave a comment on Spotify, and I will be reading all of those because they make my day. And without further ado, let's get into what Alive Girl Summer means to me. And also, I want to say, you might be asking, Fernanda, what's got you so inspired today? Let me just say, before we get into it, when I wake up in the morning and I play, actually, I'm going to tell you my inspired day routine, okay? When I wake up in the morning and I start off my morning with a big coffee. I'm sorry, you're not supposed to be doing that. But when I have a nice little coffee and some breakfast first thing, I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling energized. Then I played my record player and I just got the Addison Rae vinyl. We're going to talk about her later, but just got the Addison Rae vinyl. That made my day because I'm moving around, doing my little morning to-dos, and I'm in a good mood. When I put my record player on, I said, you know what, Fern? We got to start with some little wins today. So I made my bed, I did some of my dishes, and I cleaned some of my table. That already got me hyped and excited. I also will say, my mom came yesterday and she helped me clean my glam room because it was a freaking disaster. After traveling quite a bit the past month, I had clothes everywhere and she so graciously was like, let me help you out here. So that she did, and already I spent the day in that room with so many new ideas flooding into my brain. And I feel like if that doesn't tell you that like your energy does influence your energy levels and your inspiration, I don't know what does. I also will say I saw this Instagram post yesterday and it was showing like a really dead looking office, and it was like, would you rather do work in here and then it would like show a very green, like beautiful sunlit room, and they were like, or would you rather do your work in here? Obviously everyone in the comments is like, I would rather do my work in the room that looks sunlit and so beautiful and like just like a pleasant place to be in. And it really got me thinking that the one room I have not been able to redecorate in my apartment is my office, and it might have a correlation to the fact that I cannot sit down and do any work in this apartment. Maybe it's because my office is so filled with things that I don't need, and it's so messy and it's not cute or curated, and it's just like literally not a pleasurable place to be in. Maybe that's why I'm not sitting in there on my computer and doing my work. I say this because now that I got my office all cleaned up, suddenly I'm like, wait, Loki, I love this room. Let's create some content. Let's get the inspiration going. So that was a little side note, but just to tell you guys, your environment definitely plays a role in how productive you are in there, or how energized you are in there, or how inspired you are in there. It's almost a reflection of your inner mind. So that was a little side note, but definitely look around your environment in your room and ask yourself if it is reflecting the energy that you want to give off, or if it is even fostering the right kind of energy that you need for whatever you're trying to do. Anyways, as I was saying, that room is so clean and nice that I think when I woke up this morning, I'm like, damn, I'm in a good mood. I got that clean room. Everything feels a lot better. Before we continue on with today's episode, we have a word from our sponsor, which is Nutrafol. So thank you, Nutrafol, for sponsoring this portion of the episode. As you guys know, summer is filled with weddings, travel, photos, all day long, all night long, the whole season long. The last thing you want to be thinking about is your hair, whether that's hair thinning or excessive shedding. Nutrafol actually takes a whole body approach to hair growth, working from the inside out. So the sooner you start, the sooner you'll be feeling confident and focusing on whatever it is that matters to you most. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 500,000 people. As you guys know, anything worthwhile takes time, but with Nutrafol, you're able to see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair and less shedding in just 3 to 6 months. As you know, everyone's root cause for hair thinning can be different, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth does not cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas designed to give your body what it needs to grow and support your hair's unique needs. Whether you are navigating postpartum, menopause, a plant-based diet, or simply looking to see less hair shedding, Nutrafol has got your back. While many supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficiency. In a clinical study, 90% of women saw overall improvement in their hair after taking Nutrafol's woman hair growth supplements for 6 months. So this summer, if you want to stop worrying about your hair and just start to enjoy the season, Nutrafol is offering listeners $10 off your first month subscription, and you can get free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code BETTER. This is for a limited time, so you guys better hop on this opportunity, and you guys can find out for yourself why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code BETTER. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code BETTER. Now let's get back to today's episode. The next thing I did was I got sticky notes and I planned out my day and I put them on the wall. I'm a big sticky notes gal. Though I didn't get all the things on my sticky notes done, it did get me a little bit more inspired, and it gave me a little bit more direction for my day. The next thing that I did is I brought out my yoga mat and I did my daily yoga stretching. It's not even really yoga. I've said that before. It might be mobility, but either way, moving around in my body and feeling good. I've actually realized, and sorry, this episode is already giving unstructured spiral train of thought, but I kind of love it that way. I realized you have this connective tissue in your body, I believe, and it's called your fascia. And basically when you do mobility and yoga and Pilates, you're basically like stretching it, and it allows you to move with more grace and just like not feel stiff in your body, but rather feel like your muscles are gliding on each other and like their bones are gliding. Like you just feel very fluid in your body. And that has been something that has definitely improved while I've been doing these types of yoga mobility stretching on my mat. And so I highly recommend doing those stretches so that your fascia can be hydrated and stretchy and feeling good. I feel like it makes me look so snatched, and you know, you can't go wrong with feeling snatched. Anyways, I did my stretches, and then after after that, I did lymphatic drainage with some wooden tools. I did like the gua sha all around my stomach, and I also did my legs, which was feeling great. I even used a little body oil. Then after that, I played some more music. I started talking to my friends, and I started doing some journaling, and that's what got me like so inspired and in a good mood. I'll also say I actually for once had a good night's sleep last night. My blinds for some reason were not working or closing for weeks, and I was sleeping in like a room that was literally not dark at all. So the sleep definitely helped. And yesterday I also signed up for Equinox, so I got my membership and I went into the sauna and the steam room. So many things in the past 24 hours that clearly have got me feeling energized and alive, and that is what we want. So let's continue on how I'm spending a live girl summer. Now, I know everyone says hot girl summer. That's the thing these days. Everyone has their different definition of hot girl summer, okay? But a lot of what hot girl summer is like hookup culture and kind of like sexy and like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like, and I'm not saying this for everyone, I could even be like this, but I'll think of hot girl summer and it feels a little bit performative. Not always, but sometimes it's like curated. It's like looking sexy for sometimes the male gaze, or like what you think hot girl summer should look like, or what you think hot girl summer sounds like. I don't know. I just feel like a live girl summer resonates so much more with me because it's like, it's not about being perfect. It's not about being the baddest you can be. It's not about being, oh, how many guys like me? Who wants to hook up with me? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot more messy. It's fun. It can be youthful. It can be playful. It could be silly. It could be cringe, but it feels free. And like, that is the energy I'm trying to embody. Like, we are not trying to appeal to anyone. We're not trying to show anyone. We're just trying to be and to feel good in it. I saw this little saying on Pinterest and it said, lean into the feeling. And that is kind of what I want to be doing from here on out. Prioritizing feeling over how things look. And I guess that's where the distinction comes from me. Feeling alive is a feeling. You will end up looking alive too, but it's more of a feeling. And it's something that people can feel off of you. You radiate that energy. So a live girl summer to me feels messy. Maybe a little bit lighter makeup. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with heavier makeup. I'm a big makeup gal, but for me, a lot of the makeup came from covering up insecurities. And so I'm saying lighter makeup to enjoy the feeling of how fresh your face feels with lighter makeup, to enjoy your natural features, to almost like embrace the no makeup look. I feel like someone who I've really been liking recently, who has been giving me this vibe, is Addison Rae. And there's so much conversation around her, whether people like her or people don't like her, but I just really resonate with what she's doing. And something that she's been doing that I really admire is that she's been doing a no makeup press tour, which is kind of unheard of, or a lot of people haven't done that. And I think that is something that is great for younger girls to look up to, and older as well. But she looks so beautiful and radiant and young and just like embracing her natural features. And that is definitely something that I want to do more of. So for me, using like lighter, more creamy based makeup products has been making me feel really good, and prioritizing skincare. SPF, you already know. I put down here hot and sweaty, but in particular, like using the sauna, using the steam room, and like not feeling so, how should you say? Again, it's like the perfect feeling, the perfect looking vibe. I remember I was saying that I did not like going in the sauna or the steam room because I'm like, I feel so sweaty and so ugly, and like I'm a makeup gal. Like I can't go in there and start sweating off all my makeup. Like that's just not the vibe. But again, the reason why I didn't like it was because it would take off my makeup, and I'm like, that I'm not trying to do that. But now I'm trying to lean into the feeling. And you know what? Being hot and being sweaty is like being alive. It's showing that your body is working for you. So in that case, I want to lean into my senses and enjoy that feeling rather than feeling like I need to be cold and sterile and like perfect looking. Another thing I had written down here is fun, playful, youthful. All I want to be giving off is whimsical vibes. Having fun with myself, not caring about what other people think. Bringing Addison Rae back to this conversation, I feel like she is just being herself. She's being fun. She's giggling. She's laughing. She's playing around. And a lot of comments she gets are like, why is she acting like a child? And the question we should ask here is she acting like a child, or is she just being her youthful self, and you guys are not used to seeing like a 25-year-old woman be young and playful and fun? So I think leaning into that and having fun with that and not feeling any sort of shame for that is the vibe that I want to embody this summer. The other example I have for this is, I believe her name is Amaya Papaya from Love Island, if anyone's watching. I'm currently not watching Love Island, but I'm basically watching it through TikTok, and people are making all these montages about her, and she's just so whimsical and playful and fun and like carefree and a little bit chaotic. People in the comments are like saying that she seems really young, but it's almost like this youthfulness that is like, a lot of people lose that youthfulness spark as they grow up, but when somebody maintains it, it's really easy to spot and it's almost rare to find. So I feel like she has that youthfulness energy. Another example that brought this up for me was, I have been told especially when I was in Toronto like 2 weeks ago, I was told that I give off, I don't know if it's a good thing. Someone said that I was a kid for a second, and then they were like, oh, never mind. Like, I didn't mean to use that word. Like, they were just using it in like a sentence. And I was like, literally, I'm not offended whatsoever because I'm trying to keep my childlike joy and wonder. Like, I'm not even upset about that word, because that doesn't, to be youthful and to have your childlike wonder doesn't take away from also you being like a businesswoman and you knowing your shit and you being intelligent and you having whatever. And I was talking about it with my friend after, and I was like, it was funny how she said that word. And my friend was like, I think it's because you have this like energy that's like very like pure and you kind of want to like protect it. Again, it's that youthful, childlike energy. That is what we are trying to keep. And I feel like that's the spark that people say. Like when people are like, I got my spark back. That's the spark we're talking about. So we're tending to our spark and our garden and keeping that energy free and flowing within us. The other thing I had written down is self-expression. Like I said, my friends had just recently dyed their hair and I absolutely love it for them. I feel like it's bringing a playful side of themselves out, and it doesn't have to just be through your hair. It could be through the way that you dress. It could be through the shoes you wear. It could be through the way that you post online, how you curate your feed, how you decorate your room. Maybe it could be whatever's in your journal, just any form of self-expression. I feel like this summer, we should prioritize the things that we like, not because it's trending, not because someone told us it's the next big thing, like the little Labubu's, but like, what do you like? What do you feel lit up by? And how can you express that if you want to? And sometimes it doesn't even need to be expression for the public, because maybe you want to keep it private and to yourself, but even just for yourself. My own journal is a form of self-expression, but I don't need to show anybody that. And honestly, there is beauty in keeping it to yourself too, because I'm someone who likes to share everything I do, but having something that's just for me almost keeps the specialness of it alive. And sometimes, I'm using my journal for example, say it's an extension of myself and it's my self-expression, and then I'm so excited and I'm so passionate about it, and then I show someone and they're like, yeah, it's cute. I'm like, oh, okay, like that's fine. That doesn't take away from how much I like it, but no one can take it away from you when it's just for you. That magic kind of stays alive and stays in it. So self-expression for yourself or for the world, very important, and finding different ways of self-expression is so exciting and so rewarding. I also put down here creativity as a frequency. By this, I mean that all of us are creative people, and sometimes when you don't have a specific art form like painting or drawing, you're like, oh, I never use my creativity, like I'm not creative enough, I don't have a super specific form of art. But being alive is a creative act. And if you want to read more about this, there's a book called The Creative Act, A Way of Being. And it's basically saying that the way that you curate your life is creative, because you get to choose what profession you want, how you dress yourself, who you're friends with, what you choose to do, what you think about, what you read. Your life is a creative act. So ask yourself, how do I want to live my life, and how can I be creative daily? Again, literally the way you decorate your room is creative. The way that you carry yourself is creative. The way that you share your ideas is creative. So having creativity be your frequency, and also feeling proud of your creativity and owning your creativity, and reminding yourself that your life is a creative act, and you don't need to feel like you need to have like a tangible painting to say that you're an artist or that you're creative or that that is your form of art. The next thing I had written down here for Alive Girl Summer is movement, feeling free, and enjoying being in our body. So a lot of these things kind of go hand in hand, and it's kind of like what I was talking about earlier when I've been doing yoga on my floor, but just enjoying being in your body, feeling free in your body, whatever that may be. I know there's sometimes when even I wear something that I don't feel fully comfortable in, and suddenly I'm like, yo, low-key, why do I feel so stiff? Why do I feel like I can't relax? I don't feel good in what I'm wearing. So having that in mind, wearing things that even make you feel good in your body, wearing things that aren't too tight. We don't need no tight, tiny little tube top this summer. if it's going to make you uncomfortable, therefore causing you to act a certain way and look uncomfortable. We do not need to be wearing heels that scream hot girl summer, even though they're literally giving us calluses. Comfort is actually sexy. And that's something that I would have never said back in the day. Back in the day, I said, you know what? I have to be so uncomfortable because that's what's sexy. Beauty is pain. No, it isn't, guys. That's what they want you to believe. Being comfortable, feeling free, that is sexy. That is what we want for this summer. And on that note, let me just tell you guys, last week or 2 weeks ago, I went out one night and I ended up sleeping at my friend's house and I didn't have clothes to wear the next morning. So she gave me a tank top and a skirt and I just wore some flip-flops I have. Now, I never wear flip-flops, okay? But we were going to the beach and I was like, oh my God, I look so bad. Like, I don't know if I feel really that great in this. Like if I had gone home to pick an outfit, I definitely would not have worn this, okay? But I was so comfortable. Picture this, okay? I'm sitting in the sun, eating a hot dog, fries. I've got my hair down. I'm wearing this comfortable tank top, this comfortable skirt, my flip-flops, and I've got a nice little French tip pedicure, okay? I got hit on 3 times and that doesn't always happen, okay? And I think that it was this effortless vibe that was radiating open energy, feeling free, and like a casualness that is sexy in itself. That is an outfit that I would have never chose, yet it was the one clearly giving me attention. I feel like there is kind of something sexy in wearing like flip-flops where it just feels casual. Wearing a skirt that's like low-waisted but kind of like shows like a little sliver of your stomach. Doesn't have to be your whole stomach, but that's what makes it kind of like, ooh, okay. And yeah, like that outfit I would have never thought would have been the one, yet it was the one and I was so comfortable. Next up, I had written down here, saying yes with reason. This summer, I want to say yes more often. I want to say yes to making new friends, yes to connection, yes to conversation, yes to learning about other people, yes to being curious about others, yes to making others feel seen and letting myself be seen in return. I saw a TikTok that said, when you don't want to go to the function, but remember that the price of community is inconvenience. And that really got me thinking. You know, sometimes we say we want community, but we don't want to put the effort to get ready one night and just go out for an hour. Sometimes my friends call me and they're like, hey, I'm downtown. Like, do you want to come out? And in my head, I'm like, but I could work out. No, I can't go. And it's just like, they're over there having the time of their life and I'm working out. You know, sometimes it's inconvenient to go see your friend. It's inconvenient to go give them a ride or pick them up. It's inconvenient when you could be doing your routine, but they want to have a night out. Yes, it's inconvenient, but that's the price you got to pay if you want to have a community. And again, in this time, a lot of people are lonely. A lot of people don't feel like they have a community. And if we want that, we can't just talk about wanting it and not do anything about it. You got to go hang out with people and you got to go out of your way to make it happen. You know, sometimes I don't feel like hosting at my house, but if I want community, why don't I clean it up? Why don't I make it a nice place and I can host a little pre? Keep that in mind the next time you're feeling a little bit tired, but community is available to you. Now, before we go on to some other random things that to me scream summer 2025, let's talk about what a live girl isn't. What it is not. What we are not trying to do this summer, okay? Because I've got a lot here. Number 1, no insecurity. We are not feeling insecure. You guys, sometimes, not all times, but something I'm realizing is that when I was my most insecure, I was around people that were not making me feel good about myself. I was the most insecure around people who were judgmental. I was the most insecure around people who held an invisible standard that was ever expanding and ever going somewhere that is not real, okay? I was the most insecure around people who didn't let me shine and dimmed my light. If there are people like this and something is ringing a bell, take note of it. Do not surround yourself around people who make you feel any less than you are. Do not surround yourself around people who make you feel like you are too much. Do not hang around people that when you leave hanging out with them, you're like, oh, did I say the right thing? Should I feel embarrassed? Was I being cringy? Don't hang around those people. You do not need to. We got free will. We do not need to hang around people that don't make us feel good. And we do not need to hang around people that cause us insecurities that are not real. Next thing, this summer we are not being male-centered. Now guys, I'm not trying to be a man hater whatsoever. We love men. Men are nice and men are great and they are fun and cool and chill and amazing. But we do not need to be searching or chasing or hoping that we get picked. That is not the energy of a live girl summer, okay? We receive and we do our own thing and we have fun with our girls and we prioritize community and connections that uplift us. If you are chasing for something that doesn't want you in return, or chasing something that is not making you feel good, or chasing something that is not treating you with the worth and the love that you already are and already embody, get them out of here, okay? Me and my friends are actively trying to decenter the male gaze, and although that is a ongoing practice, and there's stuff that is so deeply conditioned that we do without even meaning to. If you at least have an awareness of it or an acknowledgement of it, or you're just kind of trying, I'm telling you, you will feel better. You will feel better about yourself, and you won't be doing things for the approval of others or men. You'll be doing things for the validation of just you, yourself, and I. Another thing that Alive Girl Summer is not is it's not having your throat chakra blocked. I wrote it down kind of in a very specific way, but when it is blocked, it's not allowing you to say what you want to say. And we do not want that this summer. I have been in situations where I don't want to speak up or I don't want to say what I think. You're trying to kind of monitor how much you say or what you say. This summer, we should be allowed to say whatever we want. If you need to set a boundary, set your boundary. If you feel uncomfortable with something, say it. If you don't feel safe, say it. If you don't feel loved, say it. If one of your friends is not treating you with respect, say it. You gotta unapologetically say it and say what you mean. And I think a lot of times that even builds self-respect, and it makes other people around you respect you because you know your worth, you know your boundaries, and you know what you want. I say this also because I got request to make an episode on having a better sense of self-respect, and I can definitely make an episode on that because that is something that I feel so passionate about, but I'm just saying it kind of briefly here. Alive Girl Summer is definitely self-respect, and we are not trying to be disrespected by anybody, even if it's an ounce. If it's an ounce, kick them out. We don't need them there. Next thing, Alive Girl Summer is not being judgy. We are not being judgmental. We are not shaming anybody. You know, we're matching their freak, if anything. I'm popping back in for the second sponsor of today's episode, and that is Revolve. As you guys know, I talk about Revolve all the time, and they are one of my favorite clothing brands. If you're watching the YouTube video to this podcast episode, I'm actually wearing a little top and skirt from Revolve currently. This top is so flattering on me, and the reason why I love Revolve so much is because no matter what the occasion is, they always have something for either party dress up, casual dinner dates, maybe a little date night, maybe an at-home movie night. Any seasonal upgrades, Revolve has got your back. They've got 2-day shipping and easy returns, which makes all of this so much better. This season, I've been living in my Revolve favorites, whether I'm packing up for a summer trip, dressing up for a night out, or I just want to feel like that girl, even on a casual day. Their curated edits make it so easy to find what fits you. What I love most about Revolve is how effortless the shopping experience can be. From brands like A Goldie, Helsa, and Lovers and Friends, Revolve has 1,200 brands and over 100,000 styles that feel current, high quality, and made just right for you. For a limited time, you guys can shop a curated selection of my favorite styles at revolve.com/better and receive 15% off your first order with code BETTER. Revolve usually doesn't do sales, so this is definitely something you guys should hop on. And again, I'll remind you that is revolve.com/better to shop my top picks and get 15% off your first order with the code BETTER. This offer ends July 9th, so do not miss out. Now let's get back into the episode. We are not doom scrolling or bed rotting because we'd rather be outside living our lives, doing it for ourselves, being present and embodying the things we want to embody. We are not waiting around, either waiting for someone to text us back, waiting for someone to say yes to the plan that we want to do, waiting for the perfect moment to occur. The perfect moment does not exist. It is in the present moment. It is when you decide it is. We are not running back to exes or toxic people. Okay, this kind of like goes hand in hand with every single thing that I've already said, but if someone is toxic, if somebody is someone that you cut out of your life for a reason, do not crawl back to them out of comfort. Do not crawl back to them out of familiarity or attachment. If they were cut off, it was for a reason, and you gotta hold those boundaries strong. Even if you love them, you gotta love yourself more. Even if you really like them or you feel like you owe them something, keep yourself as the number one priority in your life, and that means your emotional well-being. And sometimes it's not even your emotional well-being, but you might be thinking that you're fine, but your body might not be feeling fine. Your nervous system might not be feeling fine. Also, nervous system in general, that's also something that I want to kind of emphasize. I feel like for Alive Girl Summer, I just want to have a regulated nervous system. I don't want to be around people that stress me out. I don't want to be around people that make me feel unsafe or make me feel uneasy. Moving on, I made a list of 28 things, hopefully we get through all of them, that are quite random, but to me scream summer 2025. I'm gonna go through these quite quickly, expanding on them a little bit, kind of like I did earlier, but these are just things that I want at least my summer 2025 to consist of. Or just things that like I associate to this summer, whether that's trends, it might be fashion, it might be like random adjectives or like random things, whatever, you get the point. I'm just trying to paint a picture picturing your mind, okay? Starting off with number one, Substack. You guys have heard me talk about Substack so much, but on Substack, you guys can read other people's personal essays, and people just kind of write their own blogs, and they are so interesting. I have been talking for a long time about how I want to start one, and maybe this is the summer where I actually do. So either reading blogs or creating your own and writing your own little personal journal entries or personal essays. Number two is Addison Rae. I've clearly talked about her enough throughout this whole episode, and again, like I said earlier, I feel like she has some hit or miss opinions about herself, but I really like her album that just came out, and I feel like her album is like, you know, people say like Brat Summer, which was last year. I feel like Addison Rae Summer is kind of this year, which is giving like that glitter, rainbow, fun, free, just like playful vibe. And I also saw on TikTok today someone saying the reason why they like the Addison Rae album so much is because not a single song is centered around men. Usually they're centered about herself or getting money or dealing with hardship or feeling free, feeling like summer. And so I just really like her vibe. Number two is nail polish and short nails. I actually have short gel nails on right now, and they are a light butter yellow color, which is like the color of the season, but I think the light gel is very cute. And I feel weird having short nails. I don't know how long I'm going to keep them on, just because I do also like long nails, but short nails in the meantime has been fun. The next thing is polka dots. I have been seeing polka dots everywhere recently, whether that's on a phone case or on a skirt or on nails. I think my next set of nails are going to be polka dot. The next thing I had written down was midi skirts. Not long, not mini, but midi. I feel like this is like right over the knee. These are so comfortable, so flowy. It's kind of like the skirt I was talking about earlier. I also wrote down capris. These have been super fun to style recently. I got a pair and I had never worn them, and finally I did, and I actually felt really great wearing them with like some nice little pointed toe kitten heels. I also wrote down magazines. If you watched my glam room transformation on my main YouTube channel, I actually have so many magazines, and I kind of have a little bit of a collection, and I love buying a new magazine when the cover is like something that I really am interested in or someone that I like. Then we have fresh flowers, garden walks, parks, and grass. I think just being in nature in general is like so great, and obviously it's such a big thing that I want to be doing this summer, but I specifically love going with my friends and sitting in the grass, having a little picnic, bringing a book, bringing a journal. I've been going to the Van Dusen garden a lot recently. I also love just having fresh flowers in my apartment. I actually just have some peonies. You guys know I can't say that word. Peonies in my apartment, and they smell so good. They are a little bit of a mess though when they die. Next, I have journaling, drawing, and coloring. I actually would love to get back into drawing because I used to draw so much when I was younger, but it's definitely something that you have to like actively try to do now. And I kind of want to just do more art in like a tangible way, like painting and drawing and like just making things. I also wrote down digis and film. I think it is such a cool and underrated trait if you are well knowledgeable on cameras and like how to properly use them and different types of cameras. I personally have a lot of digital cameras and I like using disposables, but getting and investing in a nice proper film camera I feel like would be so satisfying, and learning how to like actually do photography I think would just be like such a skill that I would love to have. I also wrote down wired headphones. I think there's something, and I think I might have seen this online too, this is probably not an original thought, but something so cool about music being something that you can see, like you can see that someone's listening to it, and it's kind of like a symbol in itself. For example, I have a record player, and something about listening to the music on something like tangible and not just like Bluetooth is just so satisfying. And I guess listening to music, but the wires being shown, not only is it like functional, I actually kind of really like that they're not noise canceling, because when I wear them in public, I don't feel like I could have a killer behind me and I wouldn't hear him. I actually can really hear my surroundings, but I also like that it kind of shows to the world like that you're listening to music, and it's kind of an experience. It's almost even a part of the outfit. Yes, it's kind of being used as an aesthetic, but I think it's cute, okay? Then I wrote down poetry and words. I really want to get into reading more poetry, understanding poetry, knowing about it. I feel like it's cool. I don't know. I remember like so many years ago, probably when I was in middle school or high school, it was like either a trend or I don't know what. I bought so many poetry books and I have them. So like I kind of want to get back into reading them, or like reading good poetry now, knowing what is good poetry, maybe even writing poetry, like who knows? I haven't done that in a minute. Next thing I wrote down was fruit. And I feel like that's an obvious one, but even having like fruits that aren't super basic or traditional. Like yesterday I bought a bag of lychees and I was just snacking on those, and something about peeling it with my hands, it's just like a fun experience. Honestly, dragon fruit is delicious as well. I love passion fruit, just like having more fresh fruit that is out of the ordinary. Then I wrote down glitter, rhinestones, rainbow, and sparkles. Like I said, my friend got a belly button piercing, and with the belly button piercing, with the dyed hair, I feel like she's really been embodying the whole juicy couture kind of like aesthetic and wearing little tracksuits that have rhinestones on them. And I just think it's so fun. And it's so like when we were younger, I feel like we'd look up to like, you know, in the 2000s, like older people doing that. And now that we are that age, it's like, let's embody it. It also kind of reminds me of my car. I do have like a pink bedazzled license plate and I kind of love it. I think it's fun. Then I wrote down, I mean, I already talked about it already, but I had belly button piercings, little tattoos, and hair dye, question mark. I don't think I'm going to dye my hair or get a belly button piercing or get a tattoo. So, you know, I'm just saying this as if it's like, I wish I could do these things, but I'm not. I would get a tattoo, but I just feel like I can't commit to anything. I think I have commitment issues and an attachment to my body without anything done to it. Next up, I had the Aquamarine vibe. You guys know the Aquamarine movie. I want to see that movie again. I feel like that's the vibe I want to go into the summer with. Like Mako Mermaid's vibe. I want to be a mermaid. I want to cosplay mermaid and dye my hair blue. Again, I'm not gonna do it, but in theory, that would be awesome. Okay, next one. Hanging out with people with no agenda. Back in the day, I used to hang out with someone and it would just be like, let's just hang out and figure out what we do once we hang out. And now I feel like everything has to be a plan and so like strategically orchestrated. And it's like, what happened to just hanging out? So honestly, just hanging out with no agenda and like being spontaneous. I feel like that's a vibe for summer 2025. I also had natural curls and hair pattern. I feel like there's so many like influencers that are going viral right now for doing like natural hair content and curly hair routines. So if you have naturally curly hair, I would highly suggest going on TikTok or Pinterest or whatever it is and seeing how to get a little curly hair routine going for you so that you could embrace your natural hair. I do have extensions right now, but that is because I'm doing a lot of like photo shoots this summer. But in theory, if I didn't have it, I would definitely be rocking my natural hair, which I kind of did last year. Next, I wrote down weight training. I've been really loving being in the gym. As I said, I redid my membership at Equinox, so I'll be going there again. Number 23 was dancing and embodiment practices. So honestly, just playing music, dancing freely in your apartment, going out with your friends and dancing. Guys, clubbing, underrated to go if you just need to move some energy through your body. Definitely, I want to go to some Latin clubs with my friends. I feel like that is so fun. Number 24 was the sauna, steam, and ice plunge. I talked about this a little bit earlier, but there's a lot of places opening up in Vancouver that do sauna, steam, ice plunge little circuits. And one of my friends is like obsessed with going. She goes all the time. I know there's like Tality Wellness, Circle Wellness, I think is what it's called. Also Calm is another one in Vancouver, but there are so many places. I feel like it's the new thing here. Vancouver is also super like wellness focused. It's kind of like the LA of Canada, they call it. So I feel like LA is on that same wavelength, but doing all those wellness practices, I feel like could be really fun and I definitely want to do more of. Number 25 is massages and feeling good. I recently got a massage at the Scandinavian Spa and it just felt so nice. And I feel like recently my shoulders have been really tight. So rather than feeling tight this summer, I really want to go get a massage and like get that fixed and just overall feel like I have less tension held in my body. Next up, I wrote body gua sha and lymphatic drainage. This is something that I often talk about. It kind of goes hand in hand with what I was just saying, but buying those wooden body tools and a body oil to sculpt out your body so that you're feeling extra snatched this summer is one of my favorite things to do. Next, I wrote down tanning, but consciously. Recently, I've been loving the tan, and I know I'm a big hypocrite because I was just talking about how it's not good for you, but I feel like getting some sunlight is still good for you as long as it's in moderation and you're not getting a burn. Just avoiding the burn at all cost, but using a little bit of a tanning oil and some sunscreen has been super fun. Definitely getting that vitamin D, which I need. Then I wrote down being bold, being unapologetic, firm boundaries, and receptive energy. Those kind of were a lot of things into one little bullet point, but it's overall the energy I'm trying to be. Just being yourself without any filter. Also, holding strong boundaries as a form of self-respect and still being receptive. I feel like a feminine trait, whatever you want to call it, is being receptive and having open energy and feeling okay with getting help, with being treated, as long as those things feel safe and feel like consensual in a way. And I don't even mean that in like a, I don't know, weird way, but like if someone wants to open the door for you, or if someone wants to give you a present or even compliment you, you know, being receptive to those things and not deflecting them and saying thank you and like enjoying them and like taking them with kindness, I feel like is the mood for summer 2025, you know, being treated like a princess everywhere you go and being thankful for that and being graceful and, you know, in return, showing kindness back and bringing a positive energy and a good vibe and an uplifting vibe wherever you go. Last but not least, this was actually the last one that I put on, but number 29 is real conversations. Having conversations that actually ask other people how they're doing and helping other people people feel seen. I was talking about this with one of my friends recently, and I feel like oftentimes we go into quote unquote deep conversations, but to me, they don't seem deep. But if you are used to surface level conversations, and by surface level, I don't mean just like, how's the weather? But like, just asking questions like, oh, what show are you watching? What stores have you been shopping at? And by deep questions, I don't mean like questions like, do you think aliens are real? Or something like corny like that. But just like actually asking like, how are you doing? How's your family doing? How's your work doing? How's your school doing? How are you feeling? Like questions that are actually going to get to know the other person and not just like skimming with the like frivolous stuff on top. Because like a lot of people can just say that they're doing well, but they're not actually doing well. And in order to have good friends, you need to be a good friend. And I feel like that's also a point in itself. I feel like this summer we are going to prioritize connection and not only having good friends, but being a good friend, being there for other people when they need us, even if it's inconvenient, being an ear for other people, asking other people questions, being curious and actually remembering what they say so that you are an attentive and thoughtful person. It is so great to have these people around you, but if you are not one in return, then you are not going to have those people stick around for long. And we want to be someone who brings a good vibe to wherever we go. So anyways, I've been talking long enough. I hope with this episode, you've kind of got a very clear image and a very clear picture of what my energy is and what I hope we could all embody. And I would love to hear in the comments, or if you message me, what your vibe is for summer 2025, or maybe even add to it. Like, tell me what else you think we should add to this list. And also reminding you that if it's not summer where you are, these kind of things apply to whatever season, because a lot of them are just like practices that I think that we should be more mindful of. But anyways, I had so much fun filming this episode. I feel like I got to talk about a lot of things that I've been loving recently and let my train of thought go wild. I feel like recently I've been doing a lot of podcast episodes that are less scripted, and I honestly feel like they are better. They feel better. I'm more excited to film them, and I feel like I'm more in flow state. Like, I genuinely think my flow state is just like talking in a spiral, because I could speak forever. So yeah, I mean, honestly, one more thing to add in there, as if this episode isn't long enough, but practicing articulation and speaking and public speaking and overall just like being able to articulate the way that you feel and the way that you think is one of my favorite traits about myself, and it's something that makes me feel so good. So if that's something that you would like to practice more of, keep it in mind this summer, and you can practice that simply by even talking to yourself, talking into a camera, talking with friends, or joining something like Toastmasters, which my friend does, and it's kind of like public speaking and like learning how to do that. I think that this is, again, one of my favorite traits about myself, or one of my favorite qualities, or something that I actively try to be better at, and I would love you guys to get on that too, so that we can all articulate what we think and feel, because that'll make us so much closer. Anyways, I love you, and I will talk to you soon.